Yo, what's up, swag gang? You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Keon Lar, aka KL Swag. Back here with a video, man. Look, man, we about to react to 10 free agents that screwed up, bro. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and let's just get into the reaction. Oh, yeah.
Do you ever hear about some of these signings?
Back here again with TBS.
What were they thinking? Well, you're not alone. Let's talk about it.
I like that. Hey.
Some free agent signings work out, others don't. We're here to focus on the latter, as a handful of the top 2021 free agents surprised us with their decisions. We can't help but think that they would have been better off going elsewhere. Here are 10 NFL free agents who screwed up and where they should have signed instead. J.J. Watt, Buffalo Bills. Many were caught by surprise when J.J. Watt signed a 2-year, $28 million contract with the Arizona Cardinals, and understandably so. The assumption was...
Bro, if he would have went to the Bills, bro, I know we probably, bro. Do y'all know who the fuck J.J. Watt is, bro? J.J. Watt is a disgusting ass player, bro. That dude is nasty, bro. If he went to the Bills, bro, I don't know what else to say about that, bro. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like if J.J. Watt on the Bills, bro, yeah, they have a chance of going far in the playoffs, bro. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, the Bills already a good established team already. All they need is a couple little, things on the team. But, bro, if the Bills got J.J. Watt, oh my gosh.
Is that Watt would look to join a Super Bowl contender following a dismal final season with the Houston Texans. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills, and Tennessee Titans were all linked to the Watt sweepstakes. Those three teams seem to make the most sense. But nope, Watt joined a team that finished a disappointing 8-8 last season. Even if the Cardinals live up to expectations, they still reside in a division with 3 other powerhouses. Not sure if this was totally about the money or not, but the Bills would have been the best location for him. Surely they would have brought him aboard if his asking price was reasonable. They're the second best team in the AFC, and Watt would have helped them close the gap between the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Watt might get Arizona to the playoffs, but certainly not the Super Bowl. Had he joined Buffalo, it could have been a much different story.
Hell yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster, Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, Juju,
so it's quite surprising to hear the news that Juju Smith-Schuster was returning to the Steelers on a 1-year pact worth $8 million. Before free agency opened, Smith-Schuster...
And then he's going to say in an interview, it's not about the money. I guess it's not, but damn, bro, you're tripping.
Reportedly told teammates that he was likely leaving. He had regressed considerably since his 2018 breakout year, and a multi-year deal with another team for $10 million plus annually felt like a foregone conclusion. But nope, the 2021 free agent wideout market saw Corey Davis get $37.5 million, Curtis Samuel get $34.5 million, Nelson Aguilar get $22.5 million, and Kendrick Bourne get $15 million.
Still not
multi-year
bad.
deals. Juju is arguably better than all of them. Why is he taking a cheap deal to go back to a team with a past his prime quarterback? He could have made more money and found a better QB to play with. The Indianapolis Colts would have been the perfect landing spot for Smith-Schuster.
But the thing is with Juju, he just wanted to stay on that team. A lot of players don't like to move and do all that other bullshit, bro. Like, they just like to stay on that one team, and I think that's why he didn't want to do, it's basically like restarting. He didn't want to restart and get to meet teammates and this and that and do all this extra stuff. So that's why he just said, fuck it, I'm going to just stay with the Steelers. You're stupid. I would have took that money and played with a better quarterback because Big Ben is ass.
He'd be joining a Super Bowl contender with Carson Wentz and one of the best defensive lines in football. Juju could have been the top wideout there. He could thrive in Frank Reich's offense. Instead, he's signing up for what will likely be another frustrating up-and-down season in Pittsburgh. Trey Hendrickson, New Orleans Saints. Hendrickson got his money, so there's that. The Cincinnati Bengals handed the 2020 breakout product a shiny 4-year contract worth $60 million. That's what 13.5 sacks will do for you in a contract year. But there are 2 main concerns here. One, how do we know Hendrickson is an up-and-coming star and not a one-hit wonder? He only had 6.5 combined sacks through his first 3 years.
Not bad.
Secondly, it was easy for Hendrickson to rack up the sacks when other teams had to account for veteran Pro Bowler Cameron Jordan as well as Marcus Davenport and Sheldon Rankins.
Ooh.
Now, he's getting paid to be the guy in Cincy. Well, they moved on from their top 2 pass rushers in Geno Atkins and Carl Lawson this year, so Hendrickson's supporting cast leaves a lot to be desired. If you ask us, Hendrickson should have taken a slightly cheaper short-term deal with the Saints. He would still be with a Super Bowl contender after all, and if he continued to produce at a high level, Hendrickson would eventually land that monster contract, be it from the Saints or someone else. Mitch Trubisky, Denver Broncos. Yes, Trubisky will go down as a giant bust for the Chicago Bears franchise. His inconsistencies and flaws were frustrating. But maybe, just maybe, the guy only needs a change of scenery with a better coaching staff to unlock his potential. Rather than sign with a team in need of a QB, Trubisky settled on a 1-year deal worth $2.5 million with the Bills. He's merely going to hold a clipboard behind Josh Allen. Not a whole lot else. Trubisky still did enough to get the Bears to the playoffs twice. The best bet would have been to sign with the Broncos, who don't sound fully confident in third-year quarterback Drew Lock. That would have created some healthy QB competition, and Trubisky would have had every opportunity to fight for the starting job. Not to mention that Trubisky would have a tremendous supporting cast to try and work with. Guys like Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon, KJ Hamler, and Cortland Sutton. But Trubisky decided to jump on a cheap 1-year deal with no shot at the starting job. This move means we may have seen the last of Trubisky as an NFL starter.
Yeah.
Corey Davis, Baltimore Ravens. Davis and the Baltimore Ravens felt like the perfect match, but GM Eric DeCosta stayed quiet while all the other top free agents flew off the board. As for Davis, he didn't wait long before accepting a 3-year, $37.5 million contract from the New York Jets. Davis is coming off a career year in which he caught 65 passes for 984 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Nice.
Of course, it helped that defenses were mostly focused on Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. Davis is being paid to be the top guy on the Jets, but there's no guarantee he beats out Jamison Crowder and Denzel Mims for the number 1 receiving role. Whereas if you went to the Ravens, Davis would be the go-to guy for Lamar Jackson in the passing game, no doubt, and he'd be joining a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Davis's skills would have made him the ideal complement to the Ravens' rush-heavy offense. He and Mark Andrews would have given Jackson 2 elite red zone threats. Simply put, it's a lost opportunity for both Davis and the Ravens here.
Damn, man.
Ronald Darby, Washington football team. Darby had a successful 1-year stint with his favorite childhood team. And you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But rather than stay in D.C., Darby accepted a 3-year, $30 million offer from the Broncos. The money is nice, sure, but Darby was in a great situation with the NFC East winners, and he could have set himself up for a nicer payday down the road. Ron Rivera maximized Darby's skill set last year. Now he's going to a completely different defensive scheme in Denver that already has Bryce Callahan and Kyle Fuller as their top corners. Just not seeing how Darby will flourish here in Denver. And while Washington is an up-and-coming Super Bowl contender, the Broncos are merely the number 3 team at best in the AFC West.
Oh, that's not bad.
Anthony Harris, Dallas Cowboys. Harris predictably regressed following a breakout 2019 campaign, and it clearly affected his free agent value. When all was said and done, Harris settled on a 1-year, $5 million contract from the Philadelphia Eagles. The problem is that the Eagles aren't really the team to help Harris maximize his production and reset his market for next year. This is one of the league's worst secondaries, and we're not sure what to make of first-year head coach Nick Sirianni and defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. The NFC East rival Dallas Cowboys, on the other hand, would have been downright perfect for Harris. This team is in need of secondary help. They have a young stud in Tremont Diggs, and America's team could come away with another elite corner at the draft. Mike McCarthy also hired Dan Quinn to run his defense. You know, the guy who worked with Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor in Seattle. And we saw Quinn develop Keanu Neal into a quality safety with the Atlanta Falcons. Again, it'll be tough for Harris to reset his market on the Eagles. The Cowboys, on the other hand, would have given him the perfect opportunity to do just that, and possibly contend for a Super Bowl too. Will Fuller,
I don't know all about that.
Green Bay Packers. Fuller's breakout 2020 season didn't lead to the massive payday. He settled on a one-year deal with the Miami Dolphins for $10.6 million. Fuller should be a nice fit in Miami's offense. He gets to work with Tua Tagovailoa and fellow star wideout Devontae Parker. But we just can't help but ask ourselves why the Packers and Fuller didn't make it work. They reportedly got close to trading for him at the 2020 deadline, but it never materialized. Of course, Fuller was hit with a 6-game suspension that would have prevented him from dominating with Aaron Rodgers anyway.
Damn!
But this was the ideal landing spot for Fuller. The Packers, as usual, relied too much on Devontae Adams in the passing game. The lack of a quality number 2 pass catcher once again cost them in the NFC Championship game.
That's crazy, man. Damn.
Time to start taking care of yourself by taking care of your space. Yes, clean.
If Green Bay wants Rodgers' long-term commitment, they have to build around him. Fuller and Adams would have been a virtually unstoppable duo, and Green Bay would have entered 2021 as the team to beat. Chris Carson, Miami Dolphins. The cap-strapped Seattle Seahawks didn't invest too much in their woeful secondary, or on their lackluster offensive line. Their big signing was retaining running back Chris Carson on a 2-year deal worth $10.425 million. Definitely a surprise here. Carson struggled last year, averaging just 56.8 rushing yards in the 12 games he played. The Seahawks are a strong candidate to regress in 2021. That O-line is still pretty awful, so Carson shouldn't be super keen on returning to his 1,000-yard form. The Dolphins, on the other hand, really need a lead running back. Carson would have been a great fit for a Tua-led offense, and he could have saved some tax money by playing in the state of Florida. But amid reports of tension between Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, Carson is rejoining a team with more questions than answers. Will Russ still be there in 2021? How will the O-line perform? Will Seattle even contend? Yeah, Carson would have been better off joining a much more promising squad in Miami. Patrick Peterson, Pittsburgh Steelers. Peterson hasn't looked anything like a Pro Bowler over the last 2 years. At this stage of his career, the proper fit for him is what matters most. He's not a guy that can just flourish anywhere. So it left us confused when he took a 1-year, $10 million offer from the Minnesota Vikings. This is not the place for him to enjoy a career renaissance. Consider this. The Vikings released Pro Bowler Xavier Rhodes following a disastrous 2019 season. He signed a 1-year pact with the Colts and enjoyed a big-time bounce-back year. The Colts loved him enough to bring Rhodes back for another year.
He did.
Now the Vikings want to try this with Peterson by taking a past-his-prime corner and hoping that he'll revive his career. Minnesota had the 25th ranked pass defense and the 4th worst scoring defense last year. Anthony Harris is gone, so it would be foolish to expect this young, inexperienced secondary to suddenly break out. The Steelers, on the other hand, would have been the perfect fit for Peterson. You better believe that Mike Tomlin and defensive coordinator Keith Butler would have gotten some great use out of him. This team knows how to work with defensive backs to get the most out of them.
I mean, they do
Just
have
look
good
at what they did to help Joe Hayden
backs.
turn it around. After everyone thought he was washed up following a few rough seasons in Cleveland. The Pittsburgh front seven is the anchor of this defense. The secondary isn't asked to do as much when guys like TJ Watt, Stephon Tuitt, and Cameron Hayward are constantly bringing the heat. Peterson, serving as a number 2 or 3 corner, would have meshed well with Butler's blitz-heavy scheme. But instead, he joins a Minnesota team with a stellar defensive line and not much else. We just aren't seeing how he can expect to bounce back. It should have been Peterson to Pittsburgh. That's all we can say. But what other NFL free agents screwed up?
That would have been nasty if Peterson went to Pittsburgh, man. But anyways, man, make sure you comment, subscribe. I love you guys. Stay swagged up. See you guys in the next